Welcome back to A Closer Look. I'm your host, Linda Fontaine. If you're just joining us, my guest today is Kingsport Mayor Pat Shull. Thank you again.
Yeah.
So we ended off talking about how there is a confusion amongst a lot of residents regarding what the role of our mayor and board of aldermen is, local government versus private industry.
Right.
What is it exactly you guys do versus what you don't do and people think you do that you're running into?
Well, of course, America is a free market capitalist economy.
Right.
Having said that, it's not pure free market. I mean, there is government intervention. I mean, we're all familiar with the Food and Drug Administration. They don't let just any kind of drug go out on the market, that kind of thing. But as far as the city's role, is the city first tries to be business friendly. You know, encourage business to come here and operate in Kingsport. There are times when not just our city, cities, counties, states provide incentives to various economic entities to establish a business in our area. I mean, we're very competitive across all 50 states for that, and so of course the basic common sense rule it would be is, does it make sense for the taxpayers? Does it make sense for the citizens? You can be too generous in giving incentives. I mean, in Kingsport, we were very disappointed that many years ago, everybody kind of bent over backwards to welcome Sam's Club here. And then we know Sam's Club's in Johnson City now.
Yeah, that was disappointing.
So while they were here, it was a tremendous benefit to the citizens, both in the service they provided, but in the tax revenue that the city was able to attain through Sam's Club. So it's not static, it's always an evolving thing. The recent issue we had that the board recently voted on was what to do with what's called the old General Shull property. It's the property between the railroad tracks downtown. You know, the railroad tracks are next to Main Street, and on the other side of that property is Industry Drive. And so the city owns a big chunk of that. Well, part of that area is already being utilized with the ball fields. And by the way, the Miracle Field, which is going to be for special needs children and wounded warriors could use this Miracle Field. That fundraising's in process, and it's a great thing. And next to the Miracle Field would be like a boundless playground, sort of like the one out in Warriors Path State Park.
Yes.
Again, accessible to special needs children. So that project's kind of going down the track, so to speak, and we certainly need citizens to please contribute if you can. And it'll be next to those existing ball fields. But what to do with the rest of that? Well, across from that, next to Industry Drive is a hill. Well, we don't know what we're going to do with that hill. I mean, maybe it could become a mountain bike kind of path. But then behind it is kind of the area that's had the most controversy. Is the board back in December, this past December 2018, voted to enter a contract with a consultant to determine the feasibility of putting a minor league baseball park there. And so that became an issue during the campaign. A lot of people just, hey, we already got a baseball park. It's very nice, under Wright Park, and it is nice. And I went to a couple of games this summer myself. Well, it wouldn't be, under this concept, it wouldn't be just a baseball park. It could be an outdoor venue. You could have concerts and things there. You have an artificial field. You could switch it over from baseball to soccer or lacrosse or just other kind of activities. And then on the other side, behind the existing ball fields, what do you do with that blank land? I mean, under one concept would be, well, maybe we could put housing there. But so what we've done is, although we paid the consultant $90,000 to come back and tell us what the feasibility of a ballpark was, that resolution was very narrowly written. We've now gone back and just going to pay the consultant $150,000 to give us a full evaluation of what's the highest and best use of that land. Now, it was a 6-1 vote, and the one vote against it was me. And I didn't vote against it because I don't want to determine what's the highest and best use. but I felt like that we had to give the citizens some more time to understand what we were doing. You know, the switch their mind from, hey, they're going to build another baseball stadium, to, no, they might do something else, you know, but we'll see how that turns out, what the recommendation there.
Well, so you guys are involved in some economic development, obviously.
Right.
But people seem to think you guys are involved in like the healthcare. I heard a lot of healthcare talk during the election and things like that, and you guys really don't have anything to do with that.
The city, strictly speaking, has no role in healthcare. I mean, other than providing for our employees, they have health insurance and so forth. And there is a little kind of chunk in that our firefighters respond to accidents.
Yes.
And they're have life-saving skills, and they're paramedics, some of them, so forth, so on. So yeah, if you think of it more broadly, that being healthcare, yeah. But
well, there was a lot of talk with the ballot stuff.
But we have I mean, you know, Ballard is a business just like Eastman is, and Domtar, and the ammunition plant, and all that, and I've just made it my policy, and as well as the rest of the BMA, to we're not going to interfere with private businesses that are operating legally within our city limits.
That's not really your role.
It's not our role. But again, the public kind of, this was the changes that Ballard had discussed were pretty dramatic, and the city felt like, well, maybe there ought to be somebody to represent us. And that's what I was talking about early on, about the mayor having a broader role. So I have sat down with the leadership of Ballard and talked about things they're doing. And I think when it's, you know, when some time goes by, we'll realize that of a city of 54,000 people, we have 2 hospitals and we have an excellent healthcare system, all things considered.
Good. So what other concerns, or what are you guys working on? What's some of the major goals for the board, mayor, and aldermen coming up in the next year or two?
I was really encouraged by a report I got the other day from Jeff Fleming. I think everybody knows Jeff,
Good
our former
Jeff.
city manager.
Yes.
You know, he's kind of Mr. Kingsport, but
Yes.
Jeff is now, he's not a city manager anymore, and he's retired. He's about the busiest retired person you'll ever meet.
Enjoying life.
He's done more work on the move to Kingsport, and he sent me a report the other day, just for the month of August, just passed. There were 43 families. Now, in this report he got, it could be one person, but 43 different households that's set up in Kingsport in August. And of that 43, only 12 are from Tennessee. And those 12 were beyond a 35-mile radius beyond Kingsport. So all those others were from out of state. And I thought, gee, this is great. I mean, these people are moving to Kingsport. I mean, I think I wake up every day and I feel happy that I live in Kingsport. You know, it's sometimes I think, though, we're kind of like ice cream, but people haven't discovered us. But once you've tasted it, you want more, you know. So I think this is great that Jeff's doing more work on this move to Kingsport, because every time somebody moves into Kingsport, it just is an economic benefit right there to all of us.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you guys are working on just getting people to come to Kingsport.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the Chamber is a big partner in that, and that's where Jeff is working with the Chamber on that, Chamber of Commerce, and we appreciate their efforts in that area.
Well, what else would you like to tell us about what's going on with the BMA these days?
Well, I personally am going to hold a town hall open to all citizens on the 23rd of September at the Linview Community Center, and from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. And I will talk to the citizens, some of the things that you and I have just talked about, and try to give them an update on the things that I campaigned on, but also then to hear their concerns. Yes.
I also want to mention that, so the public will know, that you guys have the Board of Mayor Alderman meetings, and people are welcome to come. It's open to the public.
Yes, ma'am. And there's portions within the meeting where they can comment. They can comment on our agenda, in other words, the things that are before us that evening. But then at the end of the meeting, there's a time where they can comment on items of general civic interest.
I love that. And so what time? Tell us the information. Where, when, how?
Our business meeting, business meetings when you actually vote on something, is the first and third Tuesday of every month at City Hall, up in the courtroom on the second floor, and it starts at 7 p.m. Now, we normally have before the Monday before that Tuesday, we have a work session in City Hall in what we call the council room that starts at 4:30.
Okay.
Yeah, and all meetings are open. All these type meetings are open.
So people can come downtown to City Hall,
right?
Listen, and you said at the end of usually your meetings, there's always an open forum where people can bring up things that are concerning to them.
Yeah. Again, I'm open. I have an open door policy.
Okay.
Now, we try to manage it in such a way that I can handle it, that,
and where is your office?
In City Hall.
In City Hall. And do you have a specific hours where people can come by?
Well, no, I don't. I
That's
just,
good to say.
I'm in and out of there. That's the biggest surprise. How much time I've spent doing mayor stuff.
Yes. You're always out and about, though. That's good. You're with the community. That's
It's a good thing I'm retired otherwise.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you're pretty busy. I mean, I was asking you your schedule. Right after this, I've got to go do that and got to do this, and that's great. You're out and about. I mean, you really are the people's mayor. You're out there talking to everyone. You walked. You lost like 15 pounds during this.
Yeah, and I'm keeping it off so far.
Good. With all the barbecues you go to, I'm surprised you're able to keep it off.
Yeah.
But you're very involved, and I love that. And we're going to be going to the Fur Ball, for example. I can't wait for that.
Another great thing is to help boost our animal shelter.
With their new Pet Works coming up and everything like that. I love that. Pat, I really appreciate you coming here today. It's good to touch base, and whenever you want to come on the show, please do. If there's something particular you want to talk about, you want to get the citizens involved, come to me. We'll talk it up. Let's get this town more involved.
I appreciate it. This is a great place to live, work, and play. I
love that. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
And I hope that I have you on again soon. I've really appreciated our talk. And you're a great mayor so far.
So far, yeah. Thanks.
And I'm sure you will be. Okay. Anyway, thank you for being here today. And we will be back again this time next week with another edition of A Closer Look. I hope to see you then.